Sometimes there are instances where a concussive event occurs in a game or practice and there are no licensed healthcare professionals available. For those who are not trained, it can be very difficult to determine if a player has sustained a concussion. But there are some tools that are made for the everyday person to help guide decisions. This sideline evaluation tool is called the Concussion Recognition Tool 5, or CRT5, and is the most recent revision of the Pocket Sport Concussion Assessment Tool that was initially introduced by the Concussion in Sport group in 2005. This version was specifically designed to assist non-medically trained individuals recognize signs and symptoms and provide guidance on removing athletes from player sport and whether or not to seek medical attention. The first step of the CRT5 goes over red flag symptoms that should call for immediate removal from play, and if no licensed healthcare professional is available, then calling of an EMT or ambulance for urgent medical assessment. These include neck pain and tenderness, double vision, weakness, tingling, or burning in the arms or legs, severe or increasing headache, seizure or convulsion, loss of consciousness, deteriorating conscious state, as in the process of losing consciousness, vomiting, or if the player is becoming increasingly restless, agitated, or combative. Step 2 discusses signs that the third party evaluating the player could see that should also call for immediate medical attention. If a player has any of these signs after a concussive event, it is essential that they are seen by a licensed medical professional immediately, whether that is an EMT or calling for an ambulance. These are lying motionless on the playing surface, player being slow to get up after direct or indirect hit to the head, disorientation or confusion, such as inability to respond appropriately to questions, a blank or vacant look, difficulties with balance or walking, incoordination, stumbling or slow labored movements, or a facial injury after the head trauma. Step 3 gives a common list of symptoms that players may be experiencing due to the concussion. These include, but are not limited to, headaches or feeling of pressure in the head, feelings of imbalance or dizziness, nausea or vomiting, drowsiness, fatigue, blurred vision and lighter noise sensitivity, neck pain, emotional changes, difficulty concentrating or remembering event, and feeling like they are in a fog. Step 4 are questions that give a quick memory assessment to help screen the player. If they are answered incorrectly, it may suggest a concussion. These questions can be adjusted so that they are sport-specific, but some universal team questions are: where are we today? What set, half, inning, period are we in now? What team did we play last? And did we win the last game? After going through this tool with your player, you will be able to identify if there is a suspected concussion. If you find any red flag items, it will guide you to seek emergent health care. If you have no red flags, but any other findings in the following categories, the player should be pulled from play with a suspected concussion. This will lead to you having the player checked by a medical professional within the next 24 hours unless symptoms are mild and manageable. It is essential to remember that if you suspect that a player has a concussion, they should be immediately removed from play and screened for red flags. Luckily, a lot of facilities have an AT or EMT staff present and can be utilized in these situations if needed. But it is better to be prepared just in case. The CRT5 is free to copy and distribute, so I would highly suggest saving it onto your phone or somewhere it will be accessible by your team quickly and easily.